affecting our society with the aim of bringing change.
Topics and realities.
Every Saturday
on Royal FM.
Topics and realities.
A weekly program brought to you by the English desk of Royal FM.
Royal FM.
Topics and realities.
Topics and realities.
Topics and realities.
The gateway to change.
Fellow countrymen, since independence, we have had to grapple with those evil vices like corruption, nepotism, tribalism, and inordinate ambitions in our polity. We must change the things which consistently underdevelop our country. We must change our psyche. Now is the time for us to combine our efforts as a nation. To achieve this noble objective, we have to rise above our differences, to wipe out fraud, bribery, inflation of contracts, vandalization of power lines, and those who are willing collaborators by virtue of their positions in government. Lastly, it is good to be ambitious, but inordinate ambition breeds corruption, treachery, and unpatriotic tendencies in us. Rather, our ambition should be to move our country forward. Merit should come first. Mediocrity must be a practice of the past. Let us all strive to be the best in all what we do. From henceforth, employments and contracts are on the basis of merit and not on the basis of who knows who or godfatherism.
Cameroon's socio-economic and political climate is shaped by long-standing governance challenges, persistent inequality, and ongoing violence, all of which have contributed to a deteriorating human rights situation. Although Cameroon is constitutionally a presidential republic, political power is highly centralized in the hands of the executive. The President of the Republic, who has been in power since 1982, and his prolonged rule has been marked by limited political pluralism, weak institutional checks and balances, and a repeated allegation of electoral malpractices. Opposition parties, civil society organizations, and journalists operate in a restrictive environment where arrest, intimidation, and ban on public demonstration are common. The judiciary is widely perceived as lacking independence, particularly in cases involving political dissent or national security. Socio-economically, Cameroon possesses considerable natural resources, including oil, gas, and timber, and fertile agricultural land. Yet, most of the population continue to experience poverty and economic hardship. Violence has become a defining feature of Cameroon's current context, driven by multiple overlapping security crises. The most prominent is the Anglophone crisis and the crisis in the far north region. The human rights situation in Cameroon has significantly deteriorated as a result of these political and security dynamics. Reports from human rights organizations, documents widely spread Violence, including extrajudicial killings, arbitrary arrests, torture, enforced disappearance, and prolonged detention without trial. Freedom of expression, assembly, and the press are heavily restricted, with journalists and activists frequently targeted. Women and children are disproportionately affected by the violence and instability. Conflict-related sexual violence is prevalent but largely underreported, while children face forced recruitment by armed groups, attacks on school, displacement, and long-term. On the overall, Cameroon's socio-economic hardship, political repression, and ongoing violence are deeply interconnected and mutually reinforcing. The absence of meaningful political reforms, including dialogue and accountability, has actually paralyzed the Cameroon human rights and violence situation. Good afternoon, good people. Welcome to Topics and Realities. Topics and Reality is your Saturday afternoon talk show program in which we capture the topics, we treat them, and we make it a reality in your life. Topics and Realities this Saturday, December the 13th, 2025. Our focus will be on the socio-economic and political situation in Cameroon, focusing on the human rights situation and violence. Throughout this program, we shall be answering some fundamental questions. What is the human rights situation in Cameroon? How is gender-based violence a threat to the peace? What role should the people play in preventing violence and promote human rights in the country? How is the socio-economic and political situation in Cameroon today affecting the human rights situation? This goes as on Wednesday, the 10th of December, it was celebrated as the International Human Rights Day. Topics and Realities is a production of the English service of Royal 88.4 FM, with production assistant coming from Evans William Jobati this afternoon, accompanied by Mapola Zita, under the coordination of our Director General Roger Kek. General supervision is ensured by Reverend Pastor Bisai Emmanuel Noel. Rumele Kume is a sound engineer or copyright clerk. Alenkweka is a video editor on our YouTube page, Royal FM Cameroon. Just type Topics and Realities. You'll get us live from the Thompson studio of Royal 88.4 FM. Call me the moderator. My name is Abel Bela Samari. I will be right back.
Only you, Jesus.
And thank you very much, Romiale Kume, for that wonderful piece of music that takes us to talk about the mutual assistance and solidarity, MASO. And we are talking about the mutual assistance and solidarity. Yesterday, December the 12th, 2024, we celebrated the International Universal Health Coverage, a day which is observed every year on the 12th of December. And the United Nations General Assembly had to put this day to be able to provide adequate health care without financial hardship. And this is some of the vision the mutual assistance and solidarity carries, which is based on our African spirit of assistance and solidarity. And we all know that when we talk about the mutual assistance and solidarity, we are talking about a product from the Renapo Finance SA microfinance institution that has been existing since 1996 with the principal mission to put man at the center of our priority. And one of that priority is to give Cameroonians the most needed health that they deserve. When you become a member of the mutual assistance and solidarity, for you to be able to benefit from these health advantages, which is one of the fundamental advantages of becoming a member of the mutual assistance and solidarity, you benefit 35% discount. And this 35% discount is not only for you, you have to treat up to other 9 members of your family. And imagine that for those of us who have the extended African family, if we are just 3 of us in a family where we have to extend to 9 persons, you discover that we are going to cover a good number of our family members who will be covered by this aspect of health, which is fall within the range of the universal health coverage. So that is why when you become a member of the mutual assistance and solidarity, there is that possibility for you to be able to gain your health through the Mamu Hospital Complex. The mutual assistance and solidarity give you 35% discount. You just pay just the 65%. You also have that possibility to guarantee a befitting retirement for you. We are talking about the fact that when we look at the Cameroon, I still stay on the government governance policy. There is no veritable policy for the older persons in Cameroon. Our older people, which we call them the living library, are still there. When they go for retirement after working for the contribution for the building of the nation, they still pay the same amount of taxi fare like us. They still have difficulties in treating themselves, especially with illnesses that goes along the aging. And you see, sometimes it becomes very difficult for some of them to even maintain their family, given the fact that most Cameroonians with the higher unemployment rates are in the informal sector, the no-nonsense economy. That sometimes, but with this, the mutual assistance and solidarity, which is MASO, believe that if you happen to be a member of the mutual assistance and solidarity for 20 years and you have attained the age of 60, which we call the retirement age in Cameroon, 5 million francs is being given to you. This will permit you to be able to recycle yourself into the economic domain so that you can, while waiting for the government to come up with policies that will protect our older persons. But you see that with that, you can still maintain your family when you run a small business, which is your own. So becoming a member of the mutual assistance and solidarity, there is a lot of advantages. It's just a 100-day francs daily contribution to have 2,000 francs weekly, 26,000 francs at the end of June the 29th, because the MASO year runs from the 30th of June and end on the 29th of June the following year, where you start to benefit from those different advantages. And the 4th of July this year, we are going to have for the raffle draw ceremony. The raffle draw ceremony just come to complement those the secondary advantages of the mutual assistance and solidarity. And during this raffle draw ceremony is an opportunity to finance some different projects owned by members of the mutual assistance and solidarity who had that difficulty to obtain finances from the regular banking system, which is very difficult because of the different collateral. But with the mutual assistance and solidarity, the interest rate is 0%, because we believe that with that interest, you can re-inject it into your business, which is going to generate more money, and your business can stand while you pay back the capital to that. Another person is being empowered. So you discover that the mutual assistance and solidarity, MASO, a product of Renapo Finance SA, is that veritable actor that can remove a lot of Cameroonians from the shackle of poverty, with a 100 francs daily contribution. And today is the 13th of December 2025. At this point in time, if you have been contributing your 100 francs, you should be at 12,000 francs CFA. We are just left with 14,000 francs CFA, which we have 199 days left for you to be able to complete your registration and contribution into the mutual assistance and solidarity, because the raffle draw, we have just 204 days to the raffle draw ceremony. It will be good that we be there in our numbers for us to be able to have this raffle draw ceremony. So if you just need to go to any Renapo Finance SA agency, we have 29 of those agencies across Cameroon, 14 of them in the capital city Yaoundé. Go to any of these agencies, you register yourself into the mutual assistance and solidarity. You can equally meet registration points that have been created across the city of Yaoundé. For example, those who live in the Komeseng neighborhood here in Yaoundé, you can have that possibility around the Montbelinga to register yourself into the mutual assistance and solidarity by calling Kweku Mire's number, which is 674-724-422. You have to register yourself into the mutual assistance and solidarity. Those of the black shops, that is those who are found around the Carrefour Yoma Bank, Carrefour Corbison, Kang Sonel Yoma Bank, or using the law, they can equally register at any black shop that is found in that locality. Those of in the Kuno, especially the new market at Mr. Maybe Molewane shops, you can equally register there into the mutual assistance and solidarity. Those of you are the bank neighborhood here in Yaoundé, just opposite the weighing station, there is the shop of Mr. Fufu Idris. There you can register yourself into the mutual assistance and solidarity. Or why not meet us here at the radio house? Royal FM is situated at Mimboman, opposite the Federal Fighters Brigade Fee. Meet us there. You will see the beautiful building written on top of it with Royal FM. You can meet us there. We have a discussion. We'll tell you all the information that you need to know concerning the mutual assistance and solidarity. As a member of the mutual assistance and solidarity, we'll give you all the latest information. Why not equally register you into the mutual assistance and solidarity as we prepare Act 6 of the Mutual Assistance and Solidarity Maso? Welcome to Bisai University Institute. In vocational training and field of studies, nursing, odontomatology, kinetherapy, laboratory technique, medical images, required level, the BAPC, probatoire, baccalaureate, GC, ordinary, advanced level, with work study internship consisting of 20% theory and 80% practical, in a modern, calm, pleasant, comfortable and favorable environment, with an experienced and dedicated teaching staff, carefully selected, an administration that has placed the student at the center of all its priority, and the practice of bilingualism, which offer the possibility of studying in French, in English. The start of the vocational training is set for September 2025. The best student in each field of study will be directly recruited into the group Renapo Finance SA. Bisai University Institute, our campus is located at Ekono, precisely Garage des Chevaux, near the Presidential Guard, here in Yaoundé. Contact us at 693-930231, 699-026366, 697-264284. Bisai University Institute, simply created for your well-being. Welcome to Bisai University Institute. In vocational training and field of studies, nursing, odontomatology, kinetherapy, laboratory technique, medical images, required level, the BAPC, probatoire, baccalaureate, GC, ordinary, advanced level, with work study internship consisting of 20% theory and 80% practical, in a modern, calm, pleasant, comfortable and favorable environment, with an experienced and dedicated teaching staff, carefully selected, an administration that has placed the student at the center of all its priority, and the practice of bilingualism, which offer the possibility of studying in French, in English. The start of the vocational training is set for September 2025. The best student in each field of study will be directly recruited into the group Renapo Finance SA. Bisai University Institute, our campus is located at Ekono, precisely Garage des Chevaux, near the Presidential Guard, Yen Yaoundé. Contact us at 693-930231, 699-026366, 697-264284. Bisai University Institute, simply created for your well-being.
Bienvenue à l'Institut universitaire Bisai. En formation professionnelle, nos filières, sciences infirmières, odontostomatologie, techniques de laboratoire, kinésithérapie, radio et imagerie. Niveau requis, BEPC, probatoire, baccalauréat, avec des stages en alternance sur 20% de théorie et 80% de pratique. Dans un cadre de travail moderne, calme, agréable et studieux, avec un corps enseignant expérimenté et dévoué, sélectionné avec rigueur. Une administration qui met l'étudiant au centre de toutes ses préoccupations et la pratique du bilinguisme qui offre la possibilité d'étudier en français ou en anglais. Rentrée professionnelle fixée au mois de septembre 2025 pour l'année académique 2025-2026. Les majors dans chaque filière seront directement recrutés dans les entreprises du groupe Renapro Finance SA. Institut universitaire Bisai. Notre campus est situé au lieu-dit Ekounou, garage 2 chevaux, à côté de la gare présidentielle à Yaoundé. Contactez-nous au 693 93 02 31 699 20 63 66 697 26 42 84. L'Institut universitaire Bisai, créé tout simplement pour votre savoir-être.
At Maso, we simply live our African values. And thank you so very much, Romeo Likume. If you are joining us, you are on to Topics and Realities, and we are live on coming to you from the Thompson studio of Reality 8.4 FM. We have some of our guests who are already here with us this afternoon. Let me start from Ngala. Let me start from Ngala. He's a teacher here in Yaoundé, equally a very good friend of mine. I'm just smiling because obviously I forgot your name. It has been a while. I was looking the name. I almost said that fake pastor. Good afternoon. I said no, that is not the name we always say it on air. Those are names that we always say within ourselves. Ngala Emmanuel, good afternoon to you.
Good afternoon to you, Ebe Samari. Good afternoon to all our listeners. Good afternoon to each and everyone out there.
Yeah, it's a pleasure for me to welcome you here on the program Topics and Realities. I read one of your posts you wrote and you were asking the question, the buhara that's been going on the issue of Paramount Chief. And you asked that who is the Paramount Chief of the Ndonga Mantu Division. I want to ask you, do we have a Paramount Chief in Ndonga Mantu Division?
Actually, Mr. Ebe, the idea of the Paramount Chief, I don't know from where it is coming. I can't say, but I know it is political. In Dongan Mantu Division, we have no Paramount Chief.
We have the people of Messager, we have the people of Mwa, we have the people of Aggo, we have the Wimbu people.
And Kambe and all the like. There is nothing like a Paramount Chief. That is political language.
Why is it
political language?
Why is it divided?
Our
culture, our people are so divided. Frankly, Wanchi, good afternoon to you. You have been explaining the issue until you are tired. You say me and Kaman. How can you say there's a Paramount fund for the whole of Bui division? And the very Paramount funds are the one losing the regional election into the front houses. How powerful is
Good afternoon, everyone. Good afternoon to our fellow listeners.
I've been praying that you should come. Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
You're a Paramount fund, but you lost the regional election to go to the House of the Chiefs.
Then how is the Paramount?
That is the question I'm asking. Where are we coming from with this issue of Paramount fund of the Bui? Okay, who is the Paramount fund of the Meza?
That's the question, because when you talk about Paramount in the Northwest, only three funds are bearing that name. Paramount Fund, I think, is the Paramount Fund of Nso, Fund Sam Binglor II, and the Paramount Fund of Com, Fund Yul, and then there is it Mancon or is Bafut? unfortunately, is
we have the vice president of a certain party.
with this thing doesn't talk about political parties.
Is it?
I want to come back to
What makes
this
them
issue
that
of paramountcy.
Yes, that's what I'm asking. And that's
When
what
you
I want
look
to
in
know.
the back-
they saw. Is it a paramount fund for the Bui? Does it control the people on Biame? Does it control the people on Kao? How paramount is this paramount? Is it different from the first class chief that we have?
I thank God. I just beg that you give me a little bit of time. Let me explain something.
We are here to
This issue of paramountcy is a word brought upon us, the Anglophone community, by the British. It doesn't exist in our tradition. Because where I come from, we know that a fund is a fund. There's nothing
From
like. I come from Kar, precisely, from Kar clan, within the Nsok tribe. Because the Nsok tribe is made up of so many clans, around 20. There are around 18 to 20 different. They call it a village on Ankar.
Okay.
So now you realize that so it's having so many clans that came together to form what they call the Nsok tribe. But there is still a Nsok clan within the Nsok tribe, where the fund of Nsok Sambinglo, the first comes from. He comes from the Nsok clan. Okay. So there are still other clans like Mbiame, Guarkang, Nzeram, Nzeram.
Don't give the ones that, because I'm confused.
Let me just come back to the issue of.
I know of Jajiri.
Jakiri. Okay, Jakiri unfortunately happens to be on Ankar. But within Jakiri subdivision, there are around 4 different clans that settle there. Yes, we have Ankar is there, Kilun is there,
Yes,
Zeraminyam and Zerambokang. So you see, realize that there are 4 funds within one subdivision. What I grew up knowing in my whole life is that a fund is a fund. There's nothing like paramount fund or what. These are statements brought upon us to. Do you remember the theory of divide and rule? These are theories.
Does this still exist in today's?
That is what they are doing. If we don't see it that way, then I'm seeing it that way.
Okay.
When they after the colonialism, the Francophone side of Cameroon took, they inherited what the French did, classifying chiefs into first class, second class, and third class chiefs. When you come back now to the northwest,
but does the tradition also classify them?
No. When I look at it now from the point of view of what happens in Bui division and somewhere in Donga Manton division, we know that after the fund, in Bui division we have the shoe fights. After the shoe fights, the fights come in. Then the yas and the shades come. That is the category.
Some people have the Ado. Some people have
have the Adores.
The Mazunku. Like
yes, and now like for example in your place. We have the fund is there, the Tatars are coming, others are coming.
That is the organigram.
That is the organigram within the traditional hierarchy. There is no way where I've seen in a tradition that this other fund is above this other fund.
This fund is answerable to this one.
Because
there's nothing like that.
That is the question I even wanted to find out from Roger. Let me take the regional elections in the southwest region. There were 3 lists. The paramount chief of Buya, because I don't know how paramount is a paramount. The paramount chief of Buya was heading a list against a second-class chief. That is the paramount chief list. We have the paramount chief of Limbe who was in his list. We have the paramount chief of Buya who was in his list. And then we have a third-class chief of Miselele in the Tikos now subdivision who was in list to complete. And then this other list, we have a second-class chief of Limbe who was there, and other chiefs. But during the election, we discovered that it is the list of the second-class chief of Grace Opor who had to beat. Grace Opor is also found in Buya subdivision who had to beat now the paramount. Are we not trying to bring division amongst our traditional rulers when we go into this aspect of paramount? For very soon,
classification.
In the classification, where we know that the fund should be a fund and a fund for the development of his community.
First of all,
good afternoon to you.
First of all, good afternoon. A very good afternoon to all our listeners out there. Good afternoon to special group of people. There are 2 of them that I want to recognize today.
Very special group of people.
Yes, the first is the Christians of the church where Nise Ekane used to worship. Because 13 days after his death, that church has not condemned the conditions on that.
Do you know the church?
They will tell you, they will say.
How do you know that he was a Christian of this church and the church?
No, they have heard.
Maybe they have gone there for evening
Abel,
worship.
I was not greeting you. Okay. I was greeting them. Just
no, I wanted to know more.
Received my greetings.
For Christians of the church.
And then special greetings also to those who speak full day in Cameroon. Okay. Yes, those are the 2 sets of people. Now, coming back to
why are you greeting the people of the Fufu Day?
They know why.
Greet another people, even the people of Nwatu, they are listening to
I will
not giving them a special greeting.
I will greet them. Let me come back to your question. You have taken me to the southwest region. I would have preferred, because the scenario you have described happened in Mezam. We had a list in Mezam.
Okay.
A list that was headed by a first-class chief. If you look at me in quotes.
But they say first class.
Yes.
I'm not understanding you.
That's what they
You
say.
are speaking so philosophical today. The first class chief in quote. I don't understand.
At least if I can speak philosophically, I will be happy. I didn't know, but it's nice. There was a list headed by a first class chief which contained another first class chief and a second class chief. That was beaten by a list that involved 3 second class chiefs. Why do I say in quotes? Because when we talk of paramount, he has said that our co-panelist has described it here.
Frankly, Wanchi.
Yes. He has said something important. The British came and gave the name. It's true, and he has given the original name. I think there is really a little bit, no very big difference between what the British did and what he has explained. The only difference is that the British did not master how it comes about that somebody, for example, as he's talking about the bear, the tashes, the shades, and so on. But they wanted to be sure that somebody among traditional rulers, there is somebody we can get when we want to get to them. But unfortunately, they did it. They handled it clumsily. So now, in this case, in this context where we have truly traditional rulers who are sub to other traditional rulers. I use the word sub deliberately, not answerable. But we really cannot have a phone under a phone, really, traditionally speaking. But there are some traditional rulers whose powers emanate from some part. It's just like even in our normal successorship, if my brother is the successor of my father, meaning that his own successor is the successor also of my father, but my own successor now will be like a child to him. It's a traditional balance that if you don't really are very
but should that be a point of discord, division within our community?
It has become so because the traditional rulers themselves, thanks to the benefits they get from politics, have decided to allow it go. Because normally, traditional rulers should not accept that they are supposed to vote for their leaders. That is the first thing.
Okay.
Yes. When a constitution comes out and tells you that there is a house where for somebody to go there to represent the traditional rulers, it has to be voted. Traditional rulers should know that among us, if you want to get to all this, automatically, traditionally speaking, that this is where you are supposed to go. You cannot come to my family, I know that this is our successor, and I come, they say they want a representative of the family, I'm asking for people to vote. No, they should know. But because they know what they gain from those things, they have accepted to be going and casting ballot to determine who is in the House of One. Those are things that I can't understand. And that is where now we don't know. Okay, now, are these second-class chiefs who are elected take decision that will be binding on the first-class chiefs? That's what we are waiting to see. Because those are things that politics, traditional rulers who were supposed to be our own custodians, who are supposed to stand up and say, no, how can you be asking us, how can you be asking me to vote to lead my father? They even go and contest. You know very well that where this person, if they come to this compound, this is a person to meet. Okay, somebody comes and says, okay, we want to choose somebody from this compound that we will be meeting. Okay. And you know it should be this person. Instead of just pointing that person, you go and place your candidacy and ask your brothers to vote for you against that person. That is the conception. So the problematic is not coming from the terms, because the term first class, second class is just because those people don't master our languages. They could have used our languages to describe. Frankly, Wanchin has used his language and he has made it. I think some people out there are proud to hear how he has explained. You understand? But now when you start using first class, second class, paramount, and so on, it becomes a very big philosophical problem. And then now, traditional rulers were the ones to tell the people who make those laws that no, these things, it cannot work. But they go and accept it. So it is a problem that they will now have to be faced. Because remember, the Northwest has Northwest Funds Union. Now they have House of Chief. I'm even curious to know how those two institutions will start functioning now.
That's the question.
I'm even very curious. I'm very curious. Will they now, because
one will surely overpower the other.
Because we hear in history that the British, when they came, they met some funds and were working with
let me take this publicity.
Royal FM. Yellow, join the MTN Yamo Zone and stay connected with good deals on yamo.mtn.cm or dial *220#.
Rogers, permit me find out from Fudaiman. Franklin always says that they are the one who studies some of these things. They should be able to clarify us. How do we come to the fact that we have this aspect of paramount? Paramount, we know traditionally a phone is a phony. All the respect is being given. Are we not like setting in a pace of conflict in the near future? Good afternoon to you, Fudaiman.
Good afternoon, Well, good afternoon to all your audience, and good afternoon to my co-panelists. It was my pleasure to be here this afternoon to talk about matters that concerns our country, and talking about the elections of the House of Chiefs and the way it's being conducted, and it's raising a lot of debates. So what concerns the paramount rulers, and I don't really understand, is the paramount or the elections or whatever, but I think that what is happening is that, first of all, we are grateful that this thing has been made possible, because one of the problems that came across during the Anglophone crisis when they broke up was also the disappearance of this House of Chiefs. That
but it existed in those days, but we do not have what we call the Southwest Chief Conference, the Northwest Fund. We do not have them.
But first of all, it's good that it's back.
Okay.
And it's already a very good thing, because you have to understand that these populations from the North and Southwest are very respectant of their tradition, and they respect their chiefs, and they also hear from them. So I think that's really something very good, because they play a very vital role in the society.
Okay.
It's true, according to politics and the administration in this new world and everything, they have lost in some kind of credibility due to politics. They have lost their credibility, and then their work also has been reduced due to their involvement into politics. But I think that since they are back, according to with time, we are going to shape it, because what we are giving here is some kind of critics.
Okay.
And then we need to maintain and preserve the sacrality of these positions that they have. But for now, I think that what is happening, I think this is a grand premiere of this. So if I'm not mistaken, the first time they were having these elections at this level.
This is the second time.
This is the second time.
Yes.
Second time.
It's the second time of
I
the
think
regional
maybe by the
council.
third time.
But the problem that we are trying to pose is this division amongst children. I take the case of Bui division, where somebody says the phone of Saw is the paramount ruler of the people of Bui. And we saw the people of Oku, we saw the people of Mbiame, we saw the people of Nka, those major tribes that makes up the Bui division, distancing themselves, saying that no, it cannot be, we have our own fund. But how do we come? I mean, you part into governance. How do we come at this point where we have
I think what has been done,
this classification?
This classification
is it as a result of the size? What
I think that's a result of the size, and it has been politically motivated. When you look, for example, in the Bamun area, in the Bamun division, you see that the fort of the Bamun, the Sultan is a first class chiefs, and other chiefs in the Bamun community with the Tikas under him. Remember, there was a situation where his population had to beat another foreign chief that he had to respect their sultan, because he called him their son. So I think all this has been done with politics, and because if we want to talk about tradition, it doesn't exist. And Franklin already said that this paramount stuff doesn't exist in tradition, and all the chiefs are equal, and they have their own community, their own people that they control. A chief should not be under another chief. Another, he should have his own community. The other one have his own community. So it's really well demarcated. Everybody is having his own community where he's already passing his order, and people are obeying him. But in the same sense, others are also respecting other chiefs, because due to the fact that he's a chief, and they will always respect him. But every population have their own chief. But with the coming of politics and this administrative stuff, like trying to demarcate, and with the coming of just like this politicization of our politics, even the politicization of our traditional rulers, that in return have entered the politics, the political game. I think this is how all this came about. To try in a way to divide or to put a certain categorization to give more powers to this and remove power from this other one. For you to be able to go to this level, you should be able to respect them. And this happened because they discovered that at a certain point in time, the people were hearing from their chiefs. So they had to employ them in the political game in order to have the vote. But it's now that
to control the people
in order to control the chiefs.
And those
that's how they were all bought by politics.
And now, giving their power to those who were obedient.
That's it. And now it has really reduced the security of the chiefs. And you see even in the Northwest with the Anglophone, how a lot of chiefs has been beaten, was beaten by youths. By the Ambas, they were kidnapped and all the like. So they could not do anything again and so on. So I think that's how it came about. It's all about a game of politics and a issue of classification in order for political gains and all the like. So that's just the summary of all of it.
674-61-3842 671-157321. Those are access codes. We welcome Evans William Jobati. Gentlemen, that was just a burning question in our society that I wanted to ask you people. But let us find out what have been making news in Cameroon as reported by the newspaper. Maybe perhaps we'll look for a cultural experts, those who are into traditional, maybe to come and explain us this detail. With the help of Francis, we are going to organize something to be able to make our people understand this aspect or the differences between these different funds. Why not miss some of them for us to be able to understand? Good afternoon to you, Evans William Jobati.
Good afternoon, Abel. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this other edition of What's Making News in Cameroon, according to the newspaper review with me, Evans Williams Jobati. We begin with Alpha Echo, which foresees a new local development measures to be implemented in 2026. Among the professional comes in with the news that 50 billion francs CFA requested as budget for 2026 has been received with mixed feelings. Meanwhile, Municipal Update pictures the works that have been launched on the new custom head office in Yaoundé. Le Grand Titre speaks of 24 billion francs CFA for this construction. On the same topic, Breaking News Journal comes in with the news that Cameroon Customs have broken the revenue collection record. The Guardian posts rather front pages on Dr. Fumunyoy, who has spoken out on the recurrent coup across Africa. Mutation even front pages some military leaders who came to power following a coup. La Neteo is still perplexed by the sudden fire incident at the National Delegation of Police headquarters in Yaoundé. Le Quotidien headlines, I quote, "Zéro mort," while La Voix des Jeunes reflects on the post-electoral tensions with Njokam still in detention. Others even headline that 24 youths are expected before the tribunal. La Lune reveals that Barrister Emmanuel Nsalai is remedy for terrorists. Elsewhere, Le Jour pictures inhabitants of Mutengene who have taken their grievances to the streets following 9 months of electricity blackout in this area. Le Témoin evoked possible NAO ghosts haunting their new owners. Even the Median and the Post both headline on this frustrating instance with calls for the state to look into the matter rapidly. La Nouvelle Expression talks about the legislative and municipal elections with Elecam envisaging reforms. In a different domain, Emergence wonders who really governs the football sector, picturing Marc Brice, Pagou David, Samuel Eto'o and Mwele Kombi. Mutation comes back with the headline, "Bye Bye Brice." L'Info Show quotes from the words of the Minister of Sport. Les Lions indomptables sont confiés à la Fédération camerounaise de football. Le Bien Commun newspaper on its part speaks of a Marc Brice that has revealed his list for the Moroccan expedition despite the FA's choice through David Pagou. L'Œil du Sahel reiterates the instructions from the government through the MINSEP. Cameroon Insider is rather concerned with the Cameroon Cup final with spotlight on Colon Sportif of Jan Lobo and Panther Sportif of Ndé. And it is with that we end this edition of the press review with me, Evans Williams Jobati. Wish you the best of the programs in the company of Abel Bella Samari. Till next Saturday, I'm done and dusted.
And thank you so very much, Evans William Jobati. Franklin? Anything caught your attention?
Well, so many things come like
Yes.
this, but due to time factor,
No.
I'll just cut one thing.
Yeah.
The issue of Mark Breeze having his own
Still
list.
coming back?
Yeah?
Still coming back? Still coming back?
No. I just wanted to talk about Mark Breeze in particular. I think if he should be listening to this program, my single advice to him would be that he should try to respect himself, because he has lost so
He has not
much-
been respecting himself?
He has lost so much respect, even from those who are supporting him. After this issue where after the General Elective Assembly of the Fegafoot and David Pago was mentioned as the new coach, the man has been on social media, mainstream media every second, saying this or that, claiming this or that, doing that or that. We all know that from his coming to Cameroon, we have passed through a lot. And I heard at a certain point where he was claiming that his contract runs right up to September, that no one can terminate his contract like that. He seems to forget that there is an important clause in that contract that says that he was to qualify Cameroon for the AFCON 2025 and the World Cup 2026. He failed to qualify Cameroon for the World Cup 2026. So if I was like the lawyer for Minsep, I would still sue him for breach of contract. But the man is there trying to make a lot of noise. Well, after everything, I saw it somewhere today that Pago and others are already on their way to Morocco. That the Lions
They
are
left
to
yesterday?
Yeah, since yesterday. The Lions are to start camping from Monday. All I have to say is just to wish them good luck.
Okay. Good luck.
And also good luck to one of my favorite clubs.
Tomorrow we have the Cup of Cameroon.
Yeah, I want to wish good luck to La Colombe Sportive of Ja Elbo.
Okay.
That's a very good club. I love the club. They play very well. It's not like anything particular, is that I enjoy their football.
Okay.
So I wish them good luck to have a second consecutive.
We talked that on spot.
Thank you.
Roger?
Yeah.
You also want to greet
No.
Yonder Black, who is being buried today? Did you
Oh.
not greet his family?
Well, I want to start with Menganga.
Okay.
Which revealed to me that the problems of this country now, if you insult me from today, I'm taking you straight to the military. That people block
How
the
can
road.
you say that?
People blocked the road because they were on strike, and then while we were expecting negotiations to go on, we only hear that by overnight, military went and destroyed people's millions of CFA funds in investment and costing lives there. I just understood that.
But the people, some people says that you don't do a bad affair with the government. The government
Yeah, that's
told us
what some people, it wasn't a strike is not a bad affair.
Okay.
It's either they go back and cancel all the 1990 laws that they made, or they allow us to apply them. There are no two ways. We cannot be doing things piecemeal. 1990 laws were made to give people the freedom to express themselves when they are not happy. And when people do that, if the government is thinking that those mistakes were made, they should go back and say that there are no such laws again.
By blocking the highway?
No.
Paralyzing the economy of the state?
No, there is no excuse for destruction. If you tell
The
us
president of the governor was ignored?
No, the president of the governor, what was it for? What was it for? Was
It's
it
part
for
of the negotiation.
No, you don't negotiate a strike action on ground.
Mm.
You negotiate a strike action in a forum which you call people. Stakeholders were supposed to be called, and even if it reaches a certain extent, it wasn't destruction. Okay, now the life that was lost, who accounts for it? That is, if it was just that one life that is being reported. So we have a situation. I felt that if we don't have law, they have the powers. We are not arguing. But if they think that those laws are no longer useful, because people are acting because they are seeing those laws written, they should go back, use their parliament, and tell us that those laws no longer exist. Let us know that we have gone back to that period where you cannot apply. Laws cannot be there, and when we want to apply them, we are being brutalized. Let them go back and change and say those laws are no longer there. Let us know that, okay, there is no law, so we should be living in fear. Because we can't be living in a country where we are seeing laws, and when we apply laws, we are in trouble. Just for applying a law that is written. I think that Menganga incident is really what touched me this week.
Let me not open it. Because I might open it and Rogers, anyway, drink a bit of ultimate light to calm down yourself. Yes, Emmanuel, what caught your attention?
Okay.
You two will still talk about the Menganga issue?
Not at all.
Okay.
I want to talk a bit about Mark Breeze.
Coming back to sport. Must be decided to allow you people with your football.
Mark Breeze, because I see him to be one of the first white being used by the blacks.
What do you mean by that?
Yes, that's the first white man whom have been used by the black.
Used how?
He seems, I don't see, how can I say it?
How was it used?
He has not been so professional, let me put it that way, in the field.
But he's one of the best coach that Cameroon has ever had.
Not at all.
Playing
not at all. Not
good
at all.
number of games. He just had to lose by 2 matches.
Not at all.
As yourself,
and then he has been unable to qualify the team for the
No, it was not his fault. He did not have that free working environment. He did not have that free working environment.
2 years ago.
That
is the issue.
That football started.
That's
He did not have that free environment. The players
I remember the very
international competition.
this
You want to
man
play a
came
football match. The training kits have been taken away from you. You
see,
expect what?
Sport are there for Wednesday.
Who the former coach, I think, who was that?
Rigobert Song.
No, not Rigobert Song. The former coach who was there before Rigobert Song came in.
Conceição.
No,
give the idea what you want.
Forgotten the other one, the name, rather. But it's not. He came in just. I remember he came in just the way Mark Brice came.
Okay.
Then when he came out, he used his psychology as a professional in the field. Because he was brought forth by the ministry. He then went forth after the signing of the contract. He went forth to see the FECAFOOT president by then, Yahya Mohamed.
That should be Otto Pfister.
Otto Pfister, yes. And then rearrange his program with him. Then resign the contract with the federation. This man was moving up and down, bragging that he has no.
We invite you on Wednesday on Sport. We invite you
with the federation.
I thought that we'll be talking about the Cup of Cameroon.
As a coach, you are supposed to work with the federation. But he was moving around bragging that he has nothing to do with the federation.
Thank you so very much. Thank you so very much. I will not even bother to ask. You also had something that caught your attention? Because my mind, I thought that.
This my attention is bye my voice.
Because what really caught my attention is the recurrent coup d'etats in Africa. I thought it will catch people's attention. Ask ourselves, why do we have Africans so interested these days on the aspect of coup d'etats? Is there not something which is really happening in the African continent that Africans need to sit?
We talked about this. The governments are going as far as possible from the people, and so the people's only option is to stay quiet and allow the government to handle its issue with the military. Because the coup d'etat is not coming from the civilian. Why are you asking us?
Because the case of
the military, what is wrong that they have been putting down presidents that have been appointing them? Don't ask us. Invite one of them here and ask them that. But what have their leaders done? We cannot answer. The governments are shifting away from us.
Okay.
We don't even know what is happening now. When we even open our mouth to talk, we are in trouble.
Okay.
It is the military.
You're talking now.
It is the military whom they use to destroy our roads of our things that we have packed on the way. That is now pushing them out. So what asks the military, why are you collaborating with them today and putting them down tomorrow?
Thank you very much. We'll move to our main topic of discussion, but we do that after this break.
Clock strikes 3, the week is done. The sun is shining bright. Good afternoon, good people. Settling in just right. You're locked on Royal 88 for FM where the airwaves flow. For the show that knows the answers and helps your knowledge grow. From the headlines trending to the questions on your mind. The things we talk about, the truth we have to find. No surface whispers here. We dig down to the core, preparing you for living and so much more. It's topics and reality. Yeah, your Saturday afternoon talk show. We capture the time. Topics and reality with the experts in the studio light, bringing the complex voices you can trust, to treat the topic fairly and shake away the dust. No theory in a textbook, just application clear, taking the subjects that you care about and calming every fear. From the headlines trending to the questions on your mind, the things we talk about, the truth we have to find. No surface whispers here, we dig down to the core, preparing you for living and so much more. These topics and reality, yeah. Your Saturday afternoon talk show. We capture the topic, get the facts, and make the understanding grow. Topics and reality, with the experts in the studio light, bringing the complex down to earth to make your life feel right, bringing you closer to your reality. This is Royal FM, the home of conversation deep, where the seed of knowledge is planted and the promises we keep. Tune in, lean in, listen close what you learn here today.
Royal
will be the
FM.
guiding light you need to walk a better way. Topics and reality. Every Saturday afternoon, Royal 88.4 FM, bringing you closer to your reality.
Royal FM.
Il est 17h, bro. C'est l'heure de win chez Orange. 6 voitures de l'heure. 50 voyages pour atterrir au Maroc. Plus des milliers de maillots de Lions. Et des centaines de millions chaque semaine avec Orange Bonus. Combi, Nagle Jazz 111 étoiles 1 Jazz. Ou avec Orange Money au Jazz 150 Jazz. Orange est là. Chez Orange.
Orange est là.
Topics and realities.
Every Saturday
on Royal FM.
A weekly program brought to you by the English desk of Royal FM.
Royal FM.
And thank you so very much. We come back, gentlemen, and we want to look at the socio-economic and political climate in Cameroon, looking at the human rights and the violence situation in the country. And I would like to start with you, Fuda Herman. If you move on the street and a lay person met you on the way and asks you to describe the current political climate in Cameroon in relation to violence and human rights, what will you tell that person?
Actually, the human rights condition in Cameroon, I think it's a very bad one. It's a precarious one due to the just ended presidential election of the 12 October 2025. So at the aftermath of these elections, we had electoral protests. A lot of people lost their lives during these protests. At least 48 people nationwide lost their and several injured. Until date, we had a lot of arrests. People have been arrested and have been in prison, and we have a prominent figure of this Union for Change that was supporting the second runner-out, Issa Chioma Bakari, who is now considered as his first opposition leader in Cameroon. And one of his followers who was in prison is dead, died in detention. And then this caused a lot of havoc in Cameroon, even abroad. A lot of Cameroonians went to the street, especially abroad in front of Cameroon.
Do you feel that we can still say Cameroon is there is that the state of human rights in Cameroon? Can we say that we still have human right obligation where the rules of laws are being respected and all the like?
It's been respected to an extent, but not fully. It's not totally respected. We cannot say that it's respected to 100%, but we still notice gross violation of human rights in Cameroon. As I was explaining, with these presidential elections, it has shown a lot of limitations in our human rights for this thing, and we saw how things have been moved since 2018. The same things happen with the Anglophone crisis that is still ongoing. And now with the presidential, the post-electoral conflict, this is the second post-electoral conflict that we're having in the space of a decade, and we are still having the same problem. It means that the humanitarian situation and human rights situation in Cameroon has not really evolved, but we are still going it's still just worsening itself with what has been happening. We see how it is, and now is even freedom of speech is somehow restricted. You cannot say any type of things on even on TV, on radio, or social media, because it's actually an extent is also controlled. At the end of the day, they can take you for questioning, and some people have been detained for that also, and a lot of people also are still incarcerated, and the incarceration conditions is very poor in Cameroon. A lot of prisons are congested due to these electoral issues, and we saw what happened also in Menganga. So the human rights condition in Cameroon is not very good at this point. It's still very bad, and this is something that we have still been deploring, as together with the international organization, humanitarian organization, also NGOs and all the like, has questioned the government. Even recently, even the European Union questioned the government on the death of Anise Ekane and all the like. So this is a situation now in Cameroon. It's a very
difficult one for us to understand. Frankly, Wanchi, you are always along the corridor of court here in Cameroon. This funny, foolish question permits me to ask you: what is the state of human rights in Cameroon as of today?
Deplorable. If I may coin it in one word, it's deplorable, because we can't be talking of human rights in a country where just last week we saw a group, a trade union of workers in Cameroon, drivers. They came together trying to ask for the government to reduce the number of control posts along a particular corridor. We saw it. They made it very clear and elaborated that from Douala to Kuseri, there are altogether 94 control posts, and you cannot give less than 2,000 francs to settle the control, which means the control is not even controlling whatever thing you are carrying. They control by the money. I think that if we still had what we call basic human rights here, we would have given them the right of understanding what is happening by listening to them and checking what has happened, instead of coming back the way the governor came in and even told them that what can they even do. That was where the anger came from. So people are that is how can I call it? When you use a particular statement against a particular group of people who are angry, they feel a type. They feel that their rights are not being respected.
Especially the hate speech method.
That is
when you call people dogs, rats.
I didn't want to
what can
call
you do?
it. I don't want to call it hate speech, because I see that the same people who preach peace are the ones who are invoking violence. Okay, now in return, how can we say that there is human rights in a country where, when you want to express yourself, you are being bullied, and someone tells you that I will grind you? How can we call it human rights if there is no freedom of speech? How can we say we live in a country where we have laws that we respect, when we know that we cannot say everything? When you talk and say and point out somebody's weak point, they say, "Do you know who he is?" Where in a country where we still live in, when people are still afraid of higher instructions, it means that there's no freedom. And in as much as there's no freedom, we cannot be talking about enjoying human rights. How can we live in a country where the youths are still giving some barriers, technical barriers? You, as a youth, you come out, you want to say something because you are the one facing the thing out there, and Uma will tell you that I was once like you, I have the experience of it. But he did not have an experience of using a simple phone. He will still call you to come and install an app in his phone. But you are living in a world where you are facing all those things every day. You bring up an idea, they block you a youth. Is there any freedom there? You are limited. Your age limits you. Gender at times limits, because we still live in a society. I know it's very stereotyped for us to talk about certain things, especially going back to the traditional values. It's very scarce, like for the Northwest, for you to see a woman becoming a phone. So that we cannot talk of that the extent use of rights here in Cameroon. The worst part happens in cases where women are being molested. It's not up to 2 weeks where we saw a law enforcement officer on social media that he violated a little child in Bafusam. And when you go behind and check, maybe you see the child when the child wants to push forward the case ahead. They will instead protect the man in uniform and then come out and ask you, qu'est-ce que tu peux faire? Tu es qui? Do you know where he comes from? When you live in that society where you are afraid of telling the truth to somebody because you don't know where he's coming from.
From what you are saying,
everything is limited.
Are you saying that our security forces can be held to a certain extent accountable for the human rights situation in Cameroon?
Exactly. We have seen cases where,
especially when it comes to human rights violations.
Yes. We have seen cases where I want to appreciate one brigade commander from the littoral, I will not mention the name, who yesterday morning he came in and said he did not order for any control, but his forces were already out collecting motorbikes and tricycles of guys, bringing them and collecting money. He said and asked everybody to go back and they should refund the people's money. So if you have such people in Cameroon, I think rights will be respected. Imagine you live in a country where you cannot drive freely, even you have all the documents that are needed. You cannot drive freely because along the road, a uniformed man will stop you and say, you want to present anything, you just say that, Jeremy.
Okay. Let's take the call online. Hello?
Hello?
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Good evening, sir. Good evening to my brothers, Dario, with them there.
Yeah, good evening to you. It has been a while, Ogechuku.
Don't mind me, but it's about my brother.
Because I even heard Franklin was saying that your fine now have even increased.
That my what has increased?
You are fine, you are fine.
You have abandoned the program.
Nobody will take care of it. That's okay. Power.
So has it been? Merry Christmas to you, my brother.
Merry Christmas to you and Merry Happy New Year in advance.
Yeah, thank you very much. Welcome to Topics and Realities.
Thank you so much for the topic of today. Talking about human rights, like my brother was saying some few minutes ago, he's very correct. There is no human rights, especially when it comes to the police and the Shaddam people. These people molest us on daily basis as if we are not citizens.
How can you say that?
The worst one.
They have become expert in molesting people?
The worst one is these ones that are just coming out from school. Those guys can kill for 500 francs.
How can you say that?
I am telling you what I'm witnessing.
Has it reached that extent, Ogechuku? You are saying something.
I am telling you what I'm witnessing every day.
Just for 500 francs, a policeman is ready to kill?
Yes.
Are they going to do the control for the sake of collecting money?
They did it to me yesterday. A young man that could even be my son. When I look at him very well, I see 20 years, 22 years on his face. He told me to prepare teaching about children. And then he's not giving me no like a convocation. He has unloaded all my passengers because he caught me trying to answer call on phone, yes, which I accepted and I asked for forgiveness. Please, can you just let me go from side? I think I refused.
But why were you also receiving a call where it is against the highway code?
Yes, it's against the highway code. I accept that. And I make him to understand I had to take that call because it was an emergency. Before taking the call, I wasn't looking for means to park. So he took it as an opportunity for him to hold me and collect money. I tried to explain to him he could not really want to hear anything. One woman came down from the car and let him down. We are so sorry and we are in a haste. Can you just let him go? I just had to offload my passengers and stay there for about 1 hour. See, that young man could not even look at me at the face and say, okay, this is an old man, let me just sorry you and let him go. So what are we saying? There's no respect. They don't respect us. If you don't keep, then you will not be able to go. They took me to set and took
No, I know the Delegate General for National Security is a no-nonsense reformer, and a lot of reforms will come in the days ahead to ameliorate some of these accusations that you are putting. We know that the police is our friend and they always do things that favor us. Huh?
They should better come because if not, people are already it's already getting out of hands.
Yes, calm down yourself. I know the Delegate General will try to adjust.
It's not good.
Yes, no, thank you so very much. Calm down yourself.
We'll catch up.
No, calm down. You know, a transporter and a driver are just the same people that must live together. Calm down yourself. Yes, frankly, you were saying something.
Yes, I was.
And you say you wanted to portray what you were saying, that the attitude of our men of the uniform are not helping to be able to ameliorate our human rights situation?
It is not really helping because along the road, I've seen where a transporter will remove all the documents and they will seize them and ask him, "Your Majesty dossier, do I eat your documents?" As if they don't take a salary.
They say such things.
Then there is one other thing.
I've been looking for a police person to say such things when I'm there so that I should just come and record. I put one
The
of my
most funniest
jingles
thing about this
in my program.
if you
I've
try
not had
that, you will be
opportunity.
hunted right down to the quarter.
How can you say that?
The funniest thing about this issue is that most of these are uniformed men who act along the street like this. They don't act according to the orders from their bosses. Most of their bosses are not even aware of what is happening on the ground. So when they complain, a boss will come out and say that, but that is not happening because he is not aware of. So if we don't talk here what we are seeing along the streets, tell me how the national delegate for national security will understand when he has so many work to do. It's only through us that we will report to him that this is what your men are doing on ground. Even when you have all the documents, one will openly tell you that you cannot go away without having a fault.
Now, Rogers has said in Cameroon now, it is very common for your neighbor to take you and lock you up without even any evidence, without even any case of crime. You just need to say that you have committed this crime, maybe you spoke wrongly politically, they just arrest you and put you somewhere while looking now for motive or aspect that will lynch your crime. We have that sort of situation in Cameroon?
I want to look at human rights from a very wider perspective.
Okay.
I think that you are trying to make a difference or to try to mix up human rights with crime.
We are talking about human rights and violence.
Human right
Obviously,
itself,
we are talking about a particular
human right
direction.
itself protects even the criminal. That's what I want us to understand, because we seem to be saying
No, we are looking about human rights and violence.
Yes, I am saying that when we are looking
The
at
violence we have in our street, is it because of the collapse of the human right to protect the right of the people, like you are saying?
No, when you are talking about violence again, I do not want to be limited. I do not want to be limited.
Okay.
Human right.
But let me
itself,
open the door
yes,
for you.
Human
Take
right
the
in
boulevard.
itself gives protection to everyone. Because you are giving me the impression that you are talking only about people who are innocent. I am even looking at those who are guilty.
Okay.
They need that protection too.
Okay.
It shouldn't be because you were trying to give an excuse, like Ugechuku says he was answering a call, and yes, he might be wrong, but the human right protects him. The fact that he is wrong or he is a criminal, if he were a criminal, if he were even a thief that was caught, does not mean his rights to be violated. That is where my point is. The fact that some people broke laws does not mean when they are arrested for breaking laws, their own basic human rights to be violated. I saw videos of young people who were stripped off their clothes and asked to be carrying out military action as if they were ever trained to be military men. That is wrong, even if the young people were criminals, if they are even suspected to be, even if they were judged and sentenced by a court officially to be criminal. That treatment is wrong. That is the point. When we are talking of human rights, we must define these parameters. And the first thing about the human right is that the dignity of the person comes first. That is why laws are made to define how people are punished if they commit crime. An individual should not decide single-handedly on the type of punishment to give to somebody and then go on media and start explaining the person's crimes. I heard one top authority, as Wanchina said, we dare not call certain names. I heard one top authority defending why the political leader Anissa Ekane had to go through what he was going to because he did this, he did it. If he did those things, judge him according to the law, sentence him according to the law, and protect his rights as
according to the law.
Right. Don't subject him onto torture and then defend yourself.
Look the humanity in him
yes.
before thinking about the rights.
Cameroon is a signatory to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. I don't know of any article in that declaration, the 30 article, I don't know of anyone which says that when somebody is a criminal, the person should be killed, the person should be treated badly, the person should not have good health, the person should not have food. We even heard the top officials say if you are arrested for doing this, the government will not be in charge of your bill if you are sick, government will not be in charge of... That's a blatant, open, official... officialization
certified lifestyle.
Yes, officialization of human rights abuse. That is an administrator who is supposed to be the one.
But do you think that we still value human beings? Do we still put man at the center of,
it depends
of our
on
priority?
It depends on who
That means you are a teacher. That means you are a teacher. You know that I have children in front of me. I put these children as human being as my priority. You are a police person. You say that okay. I put you are a journalist. No matter our work that we are doing, do we still hold that human being so sacred?
It depends on who you are calling we.
We the Cameroonian people, we the society.
No, we Cameroonian people is not one set. There's many subsets inside. We have so many different type of people. There are people who value human rights and say they were respecting others from above. There are people above who say they did not give orders for human rights to be violated. So you can't mix those two sets of people in the same place.
Because I receive order from above to go and shoot somebody like Roger to go and shoot.
And then when I go,
but when we put human, if I put human before, and I might negotiate with the person giving the instruction. On the contrary, let's do like this. Let's do like this. Do we still do those stuff?
Human right is an aspect of law, which means once there is a procedure provided by law to treat every situation. That's why I'm saying that I don't want to limit myself to those who are innocent before the law. I even extend to those who are even guilty before the law, who are presumed to be guilty. They still have the right to be protected against violation of their dignity. That is it. We have this situation that we are ignoring. Those are situations that we are ignoring because we want to give the impression that most of the people whose rights we want to defend are the ones that we think are innocent. No, even the one that has been found guilty and sentenced, his or her rights should be defended. And then there is what we call aggravated offense. I think we have a legal man here who can tell us about. When a crime is being committed by somebody who is supposed to either educate people against crime or prevent crime, I think it's an aggravated offense. If those kind of cases just go unnoticed in a country, that country is gradually certifying that human rights is okay. Violation of human rights is okay. Because we cannot be in a situation. I was talking about Menganga. We cannot be in a situation where we have a law telling us that we can do this if we are not happy. And then we want to follow that same law. And then the people who are telling us that don't, because remember, the Menganga is coming just less than a month after violent protests after election. And they were telling us that protests should not be violent, it should be peaceful. And then people go for peaceful protest, violence is coming out from the other side. It's dangerous. Now finally Cameroonians are unable to understand finally what should we do when we want to express ourselves. We can't talk on radio, they will wait for you and get you there. You can't even express a political opinion during election because they will take note that you are supporting this candidate, and when that candidate fails for election they will come and arrest you. The people who win will come and arrest you. You can't go to confront the offices because once you reach there you... So finally Cameroonians, the real Cameroonians, because when we say we are joining us with people who don't want us to join them. So when we say we, the real Cameroonian wants to know finally, where are we? Which laws should we follow? When we shift this way, you tell us to go this way. By the time we are coming this way, we see you going the opposite way. So when we are talking of human rights abuse, the question whether it's even respected in Cameroon to me should be a question that should come whether it exists. Does it even exist in Cameroon? Are there credible institutions that have the courage to point out to the government that human rights was abused?
The courts are there.
No, the court is not a human rights institution. The court does not investigate in the
judiciary is there to protect some of those things.
The judiciary is a court that deals with facts presented about a particular case. We
have the human rights commissions who are supposed to be
the human rights commissions now who are supposed to be there. Every time
we have the civil society.
They give us a positive report.
We have people like you.
They give us positive reports. No, people like us, we are those ones that are not recognized.
How can you say that?
Because we are not in those institutions.
Thank you very much, Roger.
How can you say that?
Let us be
all of us, we are Cameroonians. You cannot say that your opinion is not being counted.
No, I'm not.
You cannot say that you are not being recognized.
Abel, opinion cannot be counted piecemeal. That is when it goes in this line, it is a good opinion. Once it turns against these people, it becomes a crime. That's a way of human rights abuse.
How can you say that?
People were arrested after the election merely for saying that this is the right candidate. Not even among those who went to the street.
Are you sure that behind that was just the reason?
Well, that's the
reason they gave us.
Official information we have from official sources. If they have other officials, they should
let them make
the government should tell us which law is which. I think that the government should go back and really tell us Cameroonians which laws we should follow, because the laws that we are seeing on paper we are trying to follow and we are getting into trouble. They should tell us laws that we should start following in Cameroon, so that we are ready to follow the laws. Let them tell us.
I want to come back to the question I asked Roger. Do you think that we still put human interests? We looked at these people who say that no, I should be my brother's keeper. Do we still have that type of philosophy, that type of mindset? If at all, yes, we do have it. Why is it that we have a sharp increase in violence in our society? I don't know whether if you are weakness, because it is very common for you to tell somebody good morning and the person will not even respond to you good morning. You can receive a slap. Because
of course.
Do we still have that man at the center of our priority?
Of course, Mr. Abel. When we talk about human right, I used to believe that there's an organization called Human Rights Watch. Rather. I want to be frank that the Human Rights Watch has become the League of Nations.
How can you say that?
A toothless bulldog. It is very, very common.
No, it's a very hard language that you are struggling to use. Can you sustain it?
The League of Nations was dissolved because it was termed to be a toothless bulldog, a dog that can only bark but cannot bite. That is what the Human Rights Watch have become. It is very good at condemning without action.
We are talking about the Human Rights Commission?
Global. I'm talking about global. Not living Cameroon and the entire world. Yes.
But we have
they are very good
every 10 December we celebrate the international.
They are very good at condemning.
To give that conscious mind.
They are very good at condemning without taking any action against what have been done. They condemn. Yes, it's correct to condemn. But after the condemnation, what next?
What action do you expect them to do?
What action do you take? They have their rules and regulations which govern them on how to follow when somebody goes against, when somebody commits a particular whatsoever.
Yeah.
So, in condemning, you are supposed to follow up. For instance, they said they have given the government of Cameroon how many days to follow up, investigate into the death of Anizet Itane and whatsoever. After doing that, what next? What next?
What were you expecting?
I should not be the one to tell them. I shouldn't be the one to tell them their work, because if they want me to come and educate them, at least they should pay me for that.
Frankly,
they should pay me for that. I should not come into what you know already. It is what you are supposed to do. You don't wait for someone to come and tell you.
Yes, but the question itself is, what are their rules?
They have their rules.
If you can condemn, it means you have rules that tell you that
it's wrong.
So are the rules only there to say that it is wrong? Are the rules not also saying what should happen when it is wrong? It's not about what should they do. If you have the God to tell me that I have done wrong, it means that there are some rules on which you are basing. And those rules should not just be there to permit you to talk. If we have institutions, I can't believe that we keep hearing you talk of celebrating human rights. What are we celebrating?
We are commemorating.
What are we commemorating?
To raise awareness.
I'm asking
to tell the people that we need to look at man with a different faces.
No, everybody knows that. It's not that. That's not where human rights problems come from. That's not where it comes from. Everybody, religious institutions say it. Traditions even say it. The tradition even.
So where does the problem now come from?
The problem comes from political will, and the quest to hold on to power.
Is longevity
if you, the journalists, don't want to say it, give us a chance.
That's why we are talking. That is longevity the problem.
It's not a matter of longevity, because the problem is holding on is not only a matter of longevity.
Okay,
it's a matter of. Let me tell you, Abel.
Yes.
Once you start using force to exercise power, it's a clear indication that you are weak. Once you are afraid that people will talk about you when you are a leader, it's a clear indication that you are weak. The person who is strong does not need to fear the masses.
Okay.
Because the person will know that.
Now who is afraid of the masses?
It is the law, the people to implement the law. The government itself has proven that once the government has an opportunity to be face the reality in front of the masses, the only thing we see is uniform. on the street.
But the uniform is there to maintain the
No, you cannot be maintaining. You cannot be.
The integrity of human rights.
Abel, you the journalists don't want to talk. You cannot maintain.
We are talking.
You
You
cannot
don't
go
want-
to
you don't want
keep
us to
order
talk.
where there was no disorder.
There was no disorder.
You cannot go to keep order where there was no disorder.
Do you know that most of the time this disorder is due to provocation?
Yes.
Due to provocation.
Who is
actually.
provoking? I've seen a case. Okay, let me explain to you what happened in my neighborhood. I've seen a case just before the elections. There were so many mixed controls dispatched left and right. Guys were sitting around 7 p.m. watching. It was a Real Madrid match. You know, whenever Real Madrid is playing in my
It's
quarter,
not the Indomitable Lions.
I'm coming.
It's just a Real
I'm
Madrid.
coming.
Real Madrid,
In my
Barcelona,
quarter, when it is Real Madrid playing, there's always shouting between the fans of Real Madrid and Barcelona. When it comes to Cameroon, every fan they come out to one side. But within the club, it is something different.
Okay.
These guys were making their
But we could
arguments.
have loved that it should be Cotton Sport.
These guys were making.
That's another debate.
That is what we would have loved to have, but that is not what we have.
That you are talking about Cotton Sport and
Hold on,
neighborhood and
hold on.
shouting.
Let me
Cotton
tell you
Sport
how
versus-
Let him talk about
men
human
in uniform
rights. Let him talk about
provoke
human rights.
how they provoke disorder. These guys came in that very evening. I was there. It was around 7:45.
You were supporting Real Madrid.
I was there just to eat and leave because I was coming back from work very tired.
Okay.
These uniform men came in there because these guys were arguing, and one of them happened to be a fan of Real Madrid. He slapped one guy, saying that yes, you ain't no maintain I am a fan of Real Madrid and I'm a man in uniform. What can you do? They were four in number.
He said that thing.
He said that by.
And you put it not recorded and sent to me.
How will I sit eating and just discuss someone acting? Where will I take the time to record from? These are absolute loopers where you can even reason it out. What happened in that very bar was that in the next few minutes there was general fighting in that bar. Tables were destroyed, bottles were destroyed. Who caused the disorder? We all know that when people are watching football, everything is calm. As they started that thing shouting like that, that's how the men in uniform came there and bundled everyone.
But do you know that man in uniform can be sanctioned by the men in uniform?
Was he sanctioned?
There is that disposition.
He was not sanctioned.
Did you reported the case?
He was protected by his friends and carried away.
No, that is
But
so.
it can be reported.
But did you report the case?
What are they doing in the
Do the
suburbs when there
community
is no
reported
disorder?
the case? Are we not moving in a situation where
The issue-
they
Let
are
me finish.
people
Let
to
me
know
finish.
their
Let me
rights?
come.
His point is simple.
Let me come and explain
by
this
causing us to understand that some disorder
It's by
come
provocation. That was the point he's making.
That is
Because if he been like that and the other guy said that no, you wouldn't have done it, and the colleagues stayed quiet, it would have ended like that. But when the colleagues came in now, started beating people, that they have touched a uniform man.
in support of him.
What happened? There was disorder in that place. People were
Are we
carried
not
away.
moving in a situation where everybody knows it's right, but people don't want to do their duty?
Look now,
No,
in
They
the
able to
same case,
accompany that.
Yeah.
Right?
they
That's
come,
true, Abel.
What
they
you are
come to
saying
the
is-
quarter saying that they are coming for protection and security of the civilians, right? This very evening, thieves broke in the next ministry, and there was nobody to help. Children were crying, people were crying. There was no uniform man.
Did you call them?
Where were they?
117.
Why are they always around when there's no trouble?
Abel,
Yes.
Abel, there is a problem.
Are we not moving toward that?
I'm repeating this.
There's a fundamental problem here. The problem of human rights is not the problem of insecurity. We don't need security men or men in uniform to enforce human rights.
We
in
know
Cameroon.
that.
Now, we are talking here about human rights. The point here is clear that the people cannot express their rights because each time they express it, instead of facing the situation, they are there facing military and force of law and order. So we are saying that instead of using the forces of law and order as facilitators to human rights, they are using them as obstacles.
Okay.
For example, his story is a similar story that's happening every day.
Okay.
I cannot. The mere fact that you have a uniform should not be a reason.
But I'm also
why,
putting on my own uniform.
No, it should not be a reason why I should support the same football team like you. That's a fundamental right. That is it. You understand? Now, if the mere fact that you have a uniform prevents me from supporting a different team from you, that is where.
But that is a one-side story is given. We have not heard the man's also of the story.
Okay,
let's not draw conclusion on that
I
aspect.
want to
also.
tell you,
Yeah.
Abel. Yes, we are talking one side story. You will invite a military person to tell you.
No,
their
you
own
do,
part.
the military man on that day of the Real Madrid match was not
He
there.
will tell you
Perhaps if it
another-
was a Cotton Sport match, we are going to have a different
that
version.
military man.
But are we not moving in that situation where everybody wants to know is right, but people don't want to know their duty? How can we develop a nation when people don't do their duty in the right way? Because duty will guarantee the safety of the rights.
Abel, let me tell you something.
Yes.
Now, government of Cameroon is moving out doing what they are calling citizen club in schools. Do you know why? It's frustration.
How can you say that?
No, it's frustration. Let me tell you, it's clear. Cameroonians, every Cameroonian born naturally from an ordinary family respects human rights. Every Cameroonian. But once any Cameroonian starts feeling that they are growing, feeling a sense of responsibility, feeling a sense of duty, the Cameroonian starts feeling threatened automatically. Why? Because the system starts looking like a jungle. Let me tell you, we are living now in this period since the proclamation of presidential election result. We are living in a period of convenience, meaning that I cannot say something because if I say it, I may get into trouble. It is not because we are happy. The peace we are enjoying since it's not because people are satisfied with what is happening. It is because people have asked themselves, if I die today, what will happen to these children? If this happens to me, if they arrest me, look at this man they have killed. This and that. That is where we are. That is the fundamental problem with human rights.
Okay.
The Cameroonian, ordinary Cameroonian, I don't think
they're not living life.
I don't see any reason why Fuda Herman will abuse my right here. I'm not even scared of that.
Okay.
I'm not scared of that when I see.
But why do we have this right? I still ask the question. Maybe to Fuda, maybe to Franklin. Why do we have this rising violence in our society? If everybody is that conscious of his rights, why do we have violence in our society?
We have this problem because there are people who are feeling unsafe around us and are using those who are supposed to be facilitators of our rights as an obstacle between we and them.
Okay.
I have kept on saying it. Yeah, the government is dragging itself away from us and putting the uniform and the bullet between us and them, so that at any given time they see us wanting to face. Because if you are here, if you are a leader and you are scared, today I had a parents meeting in one of our schools. We were sitting there, parents were standing up, some were criticizing the principals directly. The principal sometimes when he hears, he smiles, he gives the explanation he can give. But if the principal starts feeling unsafe in front of those parents, he will look for a means to prevent that parent from talking. That is where the problem of human rights abuse will come from. So once the principal says, oh, you people can talk now, and the parents stand, this thing that this school is doing, I don't like. He accepts. This one said, even when sometimes the principal says, okay, we are sorry, we did this, he accepts that one, and then he explains that, but for the one you are saying, no, this is actually what you did not.
Are you saying that the government should manage the country like as we manage school? Let me take this publicity.
Royal FM. Hello, Moula. Rejoins le secteur Yamo MTN pour rester connecté au bon plan sur yamo.mtn.cm ou tape étoile 220 dièse.
Thank you very much, Rumi Alikume. Are you saying that we should manage the country like the way we manage school? We accept whatever thing the people say?
No, we should manage a country like the people's country. That's what I'm trying to say. That is, it is the people who have the country. They are the one who have given us the power. When they don't, I'm not saying that Cameroonians.
I'm getting you.
I'm not saying that Cameroonians.
I'm struggling to understand you.
I'm not saying that Cameroonians.
I'm struggling to enter into your perspective and to know where you are coming from.
I'm not saying that Cameroonians are always right when they criticize.
Yes.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm not saying that all what we say against the government is correct. But what I'm saying, I began by saying that word. Even the criminal, his right should be protected. Meaning that even after you have
arrested somebody,
that even after you have accepted,
but that human touch in that arrest should be there.
Even after you have accepted that the person has committed a crime and you are punishing the person, let the person understand that you are being punished for a crime, and let the person be punished only for the crime without the person's dignity. Because the essence of human rights is to protect human dignity.
Okay.
If not, it shouldn't exist.
Thank you. Can you calm down a bit? Yes, calm down yourself. We'll take, let me take this caller before coming back to you. Hello? Yes, this is Ibrahim.
Thank you. You are calling me Mr. Ibrahim. Have you seen me wearing coat on my body?
So what should I call you? Alhaji Ibrahim? Imam Ibrahim? Because I know that you are putting on a Ngandura.
No, I don't even like those big things, matter.
Okay, Mullah Ibrahim, because I know you are putting on maybe a rapper.
Call me Ibrahim. That's enough for me. Or a citizen from Northwest.
Okay, Sheikh Ibrahim, because I know at least you are putting on a cap.
They are here in Yaoundé. They don't respect cap in Yaoundé.
Okay. Go ahead, Ibrahim.
Call me a citizen from the Yamati. Mr. Ebel.
Yes, sir.
Good evening. Good evening to your.
Good evening. I was waiting for this good evening ever since. Because you just entered and was attacking me. Why should I call you Mr.? Are you putting on a tie? Are you putting on a coat? Should I call you Goat Ibrahim? No, I need to call my brother in a very dignified way. Should I feel that his right is being honored?
Call me a citizen from Rompoy Express.
A citizen from Rompoy Express.
I like that.
Okay. Mr. Citizen, go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Ebers.
Yes, sir.
You know, when you find yourself in a situation that your right depends on the person that has power or the person that is stronger than you, they cannot call that a human right.
But is that what it's supposed to be, that your rights depend on somebody who has power?
Well, okay. If you have power, I mean, for a human right to be respected, those who have power, exactly what they should do is that they should see where the human right was violated and restore other days. But you find yourself in a situation that those who have power, your rights depend on how they feel about the issue. That's no human right. Because normally we say in front of law, everybody are equal. But you will find yourself in the situation that you don't have somebody there. Some people may call it paraplegic or whatsoever. When you don't have that, you find yourself that they will march on top of your right because there's nobody there to defend you. So for me, human rights, I don't want to talk about particularly Cameroon, but I think that if you have an authority where they are, what they know is that force remain an etat. When they use that particular word, I always ask myself, me that I didn't even go to school, I always ask myself.
But who is the state? Sometimes who is the state? I am the state, you are the state. So if they say the force, the power comes back to the state, that means the power comes back to you and I.
Forget about the word state and let me use the word authority.
Yes.
Okay. When an authority believes that your right depends on how he feels, I think there's a very big problem there. Because we all have to respect our right. I have to respect the authority, and authority has to respect me. But when you find yourself in the situation that an authority, instead of him to respect your right and tell you your duties, when you revindicate something, you tell the authority that this is what is happening here. The only thing that the authority knows how to do is to come and beat you. And when the authority beats you, he forbids you to cry. And if you're forced to cry, they will use that your cry and reprimand you there. You know, here they cannot talk about human rights. I think our authorities should make more effort. I say more effort. Like a video, I think one of you must have seen the video.
Okay.
When an authority arrived in his gendarmerie, something like that, he discovered that there is something going on there that he does not even know. They will have the king started. He never ordered for such a thing. He simply ordered the other gendarme who were there in his control to release everybody. Because we never ordered for such a thing. But for the other hand, you find yourself that another authority will instead align with the other gendarme and they will take what they have to take from the citizen. That's not human right. I think that type of an authority has to be appreciated.
Ibrahim,
wait.
Do you have ultimate light beside you?
Sorry?
No, calm down. Take a glass of water, eh?
Mr. Ibe.
Yes.
I'm not angry.
Okay, because I feel I'm feeling the weight of your punch. Thank you very much. You can come back, Ibrahim. Now, one of the fundamental human rights is that right of to live. And when you read the Cameroon preamble in the 1996 Constitution, there's something that really caught my attention. Fudaiman, Franklin Wanchi, Galai Emmanuel, and Rujas is the right to live in any part of the country, Cameroon. Do we still feel that right for you to be able to live in any part of this country as a bona fide citizen? Like my brother said, I should call him the citizen of Rompoy Express or BMAC. Do you have that? Can you boldly stand somewhere and say, okay, I live in any region in Cameroon and I have the right to live in that region without somebody calling you certain types of name?
As long as you live beside the ordinary Cameroonian, yes.
Okay.
Otherwise, no.
Yes, Frank. Yeah, let me get. Am I just smiling? Do we have that?
Actually, I will start from this point. We live in a country where the leaders will beat you. When they beat you, they ask you not to cry. Yes, you are being beaten and then instructed not to cry.
But they are beating you.
Yes.
Then you should do what now? You should smile.
I don't
go
know.
and cry in your house.
You should go and cry in your house.
They will beat you and ask you to go and cry in your homes. Actually, but in a yes, in Cameroon, we used to believe that as a Cameroonian, you are a Cameroonian and you are free to live anywhere. But it has.
But that is what the Constitution says.
For the past years, that has been proven to be a wrong ideology.
How can you say that?
Because
have you been refused living in any part of this country?
If you go down to Southwest, for instance,
okay,
they have a particular phrase they used to say, "Come no go."
That was then.
That's what I'm saying. That they used to say, "Come no go."
But it's no longer there.
Come no go. Last time, it's just about 2 years or 3 years back, when a fund was giving an ultimatum for all the Northwesterners to leave his.
But did somebody go?
Actually, it is wrong.
I even know an administrator who says that those who wants to demonstrate should not do it in his area of the judicial, or else you will send them out of his. But have we ever seen
it is wrong?
That right to live everywhere, does it?
It is wrong. Despite the fact that people didn't leave, it was wrong for him to usher such a statement.
Actually, according to the Constitution, the preamble of the Constitution, as you rightly said, Cameroonians has the right to live wherever he wants and to speak the language where he feels himself comfortable. And I think that's what has been happening, because when you look at it very well, very keenly, you will go to Melong, in the innermost part of Melong, you will see people from Mwa.
Yes.
Having a plot of land,
I went to I went schooling in Seoul, came back with 2 fundamental titles that even sometimes Franklin will see me today, will still respect me. Calling me Takinjang, calling me Tanyang.
Tanyang, I don't know where you are from with the other title. You know of one.
I think that's something that's happening everywhere in Cameroon. You go to the north, you will see people that are coming from the other tribe very far. They are still living there in harmony with.
No, you cannot ignore the fact that you don't know about the Takinjang title that everybody was calling.
No, the one that I recognize is Tanyang.
Okay. So that's it. There's always in Cameroon, the most important thing we live together. We don't have a problem of living together. Yeah, we live together. So, at least peacefully as Cameroonians.
That we don't have that
supporting, but the main issue in Cameroon is eating together. And what he has been just
when the food will come now, that is where the discrimination will come.
What he's just been decrying, I think the issue of maybe tribalism stuff and all the like. I think there are religious people that use politics.
But if we have this right, where comes this aspect of hate speech, tribalism,
that's something about politics. It came about with politics. But when you go to the suburbs, if this authority are talking these things, when you go to the common Cameroonian doesn't have a problem with his brother.
Okay.
And when you remember when the Anglophone crisis started, there were some people, Vazilos activists, that were asking others to kill other people, Cameroonians, asking those of the
nobody did that.
Kill or to drive. Nobody did that, even though they were recommending. That's where you understand that Cameroonians are well together, are living well together. They have intermarriages. People are getting married and having children.
Yeah.
Some of them can have 4 or 5 girlfriends, and they are very
from 4 or 5 tribes.
From different tribes. They are enjoying themselves. There's no issue there. So you see that Cameroon is very good.
Okay.
And then that's the only problem is when politics come in.
What you are saying,
politics has really become a canker that's eating deep into the fabric.
And that is where I want us to consolidate.
Cameroonians have issues when things have been instrumentalized and politicized. That's where the problem comes in. But if you want to look at it keenly, Cameroonians don't have a problem. It's only the issue of politics. As you were saying, you will say chief. And the chiefs that have entered politics. And the other time when
the funds have entered politics.
When they talk about the expression of Kamnogo, it was a governor.
It was made
it was a governor.
No, a certain governor.
A certain governor.
Who is not
and then
there.
When you hear some administrator calling people names. It's just all about politics. And when you look at it in Cameroon, this tribalism stuff has just been used, just instrumentalized in politics. So I think that as Cameroonians, we should just be very alert.
If we go by this backdrop, Franklin, Roger, Emmanuel, that's Herman is putting on, that despite all this, the Cameroonian man have always stood tall to go back to the fundamental. Now, what can we be able to do as citizens of this country, as the state that belongs to us, to be able to consolidate our human right, that no matter who you are, if you are a man in uniform, you are a man in non-uniform, no matter who gives the instruction, we should be able to know that no, human life should be very sacred. We put man at the center of our priority. What should be that fundamental message to every Cameroonian?
We should all know that we are one. Because when actually, as Herman was saying over there, I once went to one village where I knew nobody, and I was given a very nice house because they told me that I'm a foreigner in their land.
Yeah.
Very few of them could even understand English. I was struggling to speak French. They gave me one nice house that the owner is not around. That they always preserve these 2 rooms for any foreigners who come. I was eating very well, and the chief accompanied me.
And you know our story in Kumbu where we wanted to go and buy. They said, no, these are Wikutum. They said, don't call them Wikutum.
Don't call them Wikutum. They are our brothers.
Just mean strangers. It was a way to identify you, to be able to extort some few friends, and you see the others will say, no, it's not a stranger.
It's not a stranger. Bet with me, Abel, you know how many mothers used to cook food and call you to come and eat? When you don't even know
do
them.
we still have those things today? I don't know whether
those things are there.
Those who are going to school in Kumbu enjoy it the way we
those things are there. That is a Cameroonian culture, and it is there. What I'm telling you here happened is not up to 2 months. Just within the central region here. Those things are there, and every Cameroonian is aware that we are one. It is when politics comes in, when someone is trying now to tell you that no, we are from this place, we should do like this and push that other man.
But should we accept those things when we know that at the end of the day the base have been very solid? Should we allow ourselves to be manipulated by the politicians for their own selfish aims?
The very first thing that if we fight this particular thing in our within our midst, nepotism. We fight nepotism and favoritism to bring in merit. That's when we will see that Cameroon will run in a way that everyone will enjoy. Because when we know that we are gone by merit, if I know that I came first in class and I'm given the first in my position, you who came second, you will understand and know what you are given is in your position. There will be no need of fighting over and down. And going first, if I'm given the bigger prize, it doesn't mean that I will eat alone. I should look at what can I do with this bigger price. Let me do it the right way. That is, you realize that there are people who are even at the base of the society, but they are happy.
Okay.
Because after everything, the almost goal of human being on earth is to be happy.
To be happy. Rogers, don't you think that I always like frankly will say Abel. I went to school, I was recognized in a land as a peacemaker, which amongst my peers have always carried that name, Tanyang. You understand? But even in my own place, I've not been recognized as a peacemaker. Don't you think that if we go by that basis, we can find ourselves wherever in the country and live happily without somebody destroying the fundamental that you have?
Abel, I live in Yaoundé. This is my 5th year now.
Only?
Yes.
No, you are still very French.
I will tell you that...
Very soon we'll be getting to 20.
I will tell you that in my quarter, when I'm dealing with people in my quarter around me, I don't feel like I'm in a strange land.
Okay.
That's to tell you that I have said it and I'm saying it that the Cameroonian, the ordinary Cameroonian who knows that he's a Cameroonian does not have discrimination in him. He does not have the spirit of violating human rights in him. He does not have what has happened. And I told you the other time the reason why some of us have not partisanized our politics.
Okay, paternalize it.
Yes, paternalize it because
enter into active politics.
Because I want now to say that most of our political parties that have erupted, especially recently, have come from tribal backgrounds.
Okay.
And once, as Herman was saying, once politics comes in, people start feeling, okay, this man wants to take this thing and give to his people. That is where these problems start coming. Okay. But ordinarily, you are with him, he has never thought of that.
Yeah.
He has just been looking at you.
Because we live in Yaoundé when they are voting for the mayor. I don't go to my village to go and vote the mayor in my village, but I vote the mayor in Yaoundé.
And I want to tell you something here that is very sensitive. During the post-election, when we were already feeling that there will be post-election crisis, I heard somebody tell me that thing will only happen in Yaoundé in places where we have Northeast. You can understand that. The person has been very comfortable with Northeast up to that time. Now a situation has come and is bringing that issue. What I am still insisting on.
Can we carry this discussion maybe next week?
Yes,
because our time is.
Yes, let me drop. Let me land in a few seconds.
No, I cannot hold you on air so that you should not land. So that we continue it sometime.
Let me conclude anyway.
Okay.
in a few seconds.
Yeah.
Well, the conclusion I'm having is that the government should understand that the Cameroonian citizen does not need to be educated on living together. The government should simply reinforce its institutions and make the institution more transparent so that the Cameroonian citizens should trust them. That is all. They should try to gain the Cameroonians' trust. The Cameroonian, as the ordinary I've told you that there is nobody I'm afraid that will violate my right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much. Thank you for coming, Emmanuel. Can we continue the discussion? Maybe next Saturday.
Next Saturday at all, but I have one thing.
Rapidly.
As Mr. Rogers have just said, Cameroonian people do not need to be educated on living together because they have been doing that from the beginning, ever since. He has said it all. My last words is that I want to somehow congratulate the president of the FECAFOOT for his work.
We are still coming back again.
Yes, I want to congratulate him. One thing about him I want to congratulate is that he has the passion for Cameroonians. Bringing in Cameroonians into the scene because he has the faith that Cameroonians can do the work instead of bringing white people to come and then do the. From Rigobert Song to
is that not also part of the discrimination?
It's not discrimination. So far as they are Cameroonians, I am okay. So far as they are Cameroonians, I am okay.
Thank you so very much.
So I am congratulating him and I'm asking him to keep up.
Thank you. I know when a man just hear a bit of that type of congratulation, he know that he's in his comfort zone. Thank you very much for coming. Yes, thank you so very much for coming. I will not allow you because I know where you will go in. I know anything when he just mentioned Samuel Etofi's patriotism, Emmanuel can fly. Good evening to you, Jean-Marie Andaba.
Good evening, Abel Blassamari. Good evening to your guests and our listeners.
Le pays est beau.
Ça va.
On peut marcher à Yaoundé partout. Tous est calm.
Tout à fait.
But it seems as if in politics, everybody is just waiting for a particular news, Jean-Marie Andaba.
Particular?
A particular news. More people say cabinet,
which news?
Cabinet. What are more cabinet be doing in politics? What are we going to be discussing in
nous allons scruter effectivement l'agenda du président qui a été élu. Depuis près d'un mois, on va essayer d'évaluer les 30 premiers jours et se lancer dans des perspectives. Le président a-t-il respecté au moins les priorités de son discours d'investiture? En un mois, c'est vrai qu'on voit des actes. Il n'y a que votre décret là que les gens attendent. Je ne sais pas si c'est ça qui fait le septennat de grandes espérances. Donc, pourtant, il y a beaucoup de choses qui sont faites quand même et d'autres qui ne sont pas encore faites. Mais nous restons dans l'élection des conseillers régionaux. Vous savez que mardi prochain est jour de session de plein droit. Et l'enjeu autour de ces sessions, c'est bien de choisir les exécutifs régionaux qui seront les présidents des 10 conseils régionaux contrôlés désormais par l'ORDPC à la suite de l'élection du 30 novembre dernier. On va revenir non seulement sur la réglementation qui encadre ces sessions de plein droit, mais aussi les grands enjeux politiques autour de ces sessions de plein droit qui viennent clôturer, n'est-ce pas, le scrutin qui a eu lieu le 30 novembre dernier.
Dis-moi quelque chose about tomorrow, who is going to be on hold?
Oui, en principe demain, on devrait recevoir l'avocate maître Bertil Wami Mbatan, qui est militante des droits de l'homme. Le prétexte, c'est justement la concertation qu'il y a eu au niveau de l'Assemblée nationale, un plaidoyer pour la participation des femmes en politique. On parlera de droits de l'homme, mais on parlera aussi de cet engagement des femmes en politique. Pourquoi ça traîne et jusqu'où peut-on aller avec le plaidoyer dont les solutions législatives et politiques en question.
Listeners, don't move a muscle. On next is Biometric Politics with Jean-Marie Andaba. Stay blessed.
Dans un instant, sur votre radio, c'est la pub.
Up next is a commercial pitch.
My dear people, now is the time for result. Trips, Ayuk Ignatius. Plenty dough, neighbor, Funken Linus. Brand new car, Achu Holy Mary. That's it.
The Orange Gift list is out. 10 brand